The first funeral I ever attended was when I was 20 years old and when it was my grandma's, one of my very favorite people in the entire world. My mom never brought me to funerals. She never talked about death. She never talked about dying or what that would look like. And I truly believe that she thought she was protecting me from the sadness, just like a lot of parents do. But then my grandma died. And I walked into this room, and the first thing I saw was the open casket on the other side of the room. So from where I was standing, I could vaguely recognize her, like my brain was trying to place her face into something that was familiar. And in that exact moment, it felt like my childhood protection plan that my mom so carefully put in place exploded in my head. Because I'd never seen a dead body before. Not once, not ever. And suddenly the reality of it was just there. And so as I got closer, something hit me that I wasn't really prepared for at all. She didn't look like herself. They had curled her hair, they styled it, they had put makeup on her, and she looked almost plastic to me. I mean, she looked nice, technically, but my grandma never wore makeup. Ever. She didn't do her hair like that. Maybe a perm once in a while if she felt fancy, but this was different. And I remember thinking, this is my grandma, but it is not my grandma. And that thought made my whole body panic. The room felt really heavy and quiet and people moving about like they knew what to do, and I had no clue what to do. I didn't know where to stand. I didn't know whether I was supposed to go up to the casket. I didn't know what the rules were. And then I started crying immediately. And not pretty crying too, like you see in the movies, that, one single tear that comes down. No, the cry where you can't catch your breath and your face does whatever it wants to do. And on top of that grief, there was another layer, shame. Because we're taught that you're not supposed to cry like that. Not in public, not in front of people. But grief doesn't care about being polite. So if you've ever been afraid of funerals, afraid of seeing the body, or afraid you're going to cry wrong, I want to tell you something that I wish someone had told me before I walked into that room. The thought in my head was, I don't want to look. And at the same time, my mom is beside me. She puts her arm around me, trying to comfort me while gently, ushering me, pushing me closer and closer to the casket. And she kept saying, it's okay, it's okay. And I knew she meant well, but nothing was okay in that moment because my whole body was saying, whoa, back up and get me the hell out of here. And I remember thinking, why does everyone act like this is normal when this just to me feels absolutely unbearable? And that's the part that nobody warned me about. How a funeral can make you feel like you're in the wrong for acting like a normal human being. Like you're supposed to be calm, composed, respectful, and your nervous system is like, we are panicking. And then came that ugly cry again because it wasn't just grief, it was fear. Fear of my grandmother's body, fear of death becoming real, and I could see it in front of me. Fear of doing it wrong, fear of being watched by everybody else in the room. And here's what I wish somebody had told me. First, if you feel fear at a funeral, it does not mean you're weak. It means your body is trying to protect you. Second, if you are allowed to go at your own pace, if you don't want to look, you don't have to. If you want to stay back, stay back. If you want to step out for some air, step outside for some air. You don't owe anyone a certain level of participation to prove how much you love that person. And third, seeing someone you love made up can feel unsettling, especially when it doesn't match who they were in real life. I recognize you, but I don't recognize you, and that's so completely normal. Fourth, ugly crying is not disrespectful, it's grief. And fifth, If nobody prepared you for this, you are not behind. You're not broken. You're having a first time experience in one of the hardest times on earth. I don't blame my mom. She did what she thought was loving and protective. But avoiding death conversations doesn't erase the reality of the death. It just makes the first encounter hit harder. If you have a funeral coming up and you're anxious, here's a few things that might help you. Choose a safe person to stand near. Give yourself permission to step out. And if there's an open casket, decide your dose. You can look from far away, take a quick glance, step back, or skip it altogether. Love is not measured by how many seconds you stood by that casket. And if you start to hyperventilate, feet on the floor, hand on your chest, and a longer exhale than an inhale, like you're blowing through a straw. And here's the part that stays with me. I don't remember what happened after my grandma's funeral. I don't remember where we went. I don't remember what we did. I just remember that I didn't talk to anyone about how I felt in that room, and nobody asked. Life went on as usual, but the feelings didn't go away. They just went quiet. They stayed dormant inside of me for years. And it wasn't until I started doing this work that I finally had language for what happened when I was 20 years old. So if your first funeral felt scary or confusing and you've never talked about it, you're not alone. Grief doesn't vanish because we don't talk about it. If you want to, please do tell me in the comments, what was your first funeral like? What was your experience? Or if you're going to a funeral or you've never been, what is it you're thinking? What are you most afraid of? I really hope that this channel can be a safe room, safe place for the parts of grief that nobody talks about out loud. And if you want more videos like this, please do like and subscribe, and you'll get notified for more. Thanks so much for watching.